Hey there, editor Alexa Ray Correa standing in for reviewer Miguel Concepcion to tell you about Dragon Quest Heroes, The World Trees Woe, and The Blight Below. No video game character conveys endearment and sadism in a single expression as well as the blue slimes. In Dragon Quest Heroes, these iconic teardrop-shaped blobs have never looked more adorable and homicidal, which is what makes killing them en masse one of this game's greatest pleasures. It's one of its many delights aptly delivered by a collaboration that is one part Dynasty Warriors, one part Dragon Quest. As a contrast to all the dimension hopping that made up much of last year's Hyrule Warriors, this Dragon Quest spin-off takes the reverse approach. Instead of protagonists jumping to various older worlds like in older Dragon Quest games, adventurers from those games come into the new world established in Dragon Quest Heroes. Welcoming these otherworldly guests is a new foursome comprising of two co-protagonists whose default names are Aurora and Lucius, the boisterous King Doric, and a skilled inventor named Isla. Dragon Quest has always excelled in defying traditional fantasy RPG party formations and archetypes, and this new team could easily carry a mainline Dragon Quest installment. This mingling of heroes from other worlds helps distract from the story's laughably generic premise of light versus dark. The story starts off on an uncommonly cheerful note, even by Dragon Quest standards, where humans and monsters are happily coexisting. Due to a spell by a dark wizard named Velasco, the monsters are suddenly reminded that they're supposed to hate humans. The ensuing chaos and unrest gives the game's heroes more than enough to deal with, let alone reason to investigate why their non-human friends suddenly turned on them. The bread and butter of the Dynasty Warriors franchise and many of its spin-offs has been the map-wide territorial of Tug of War, where you and your armies race against the opposing military in conquering land one patch at a time. In Dragon Quest Heroes, it's not a tug of war so much as it is an exercise in permanently putting out fires, namely enemy spawn points called maws. It's a veritable rush to run from maw to maw while weaving past the opposition, leaving the minions to the rest of your team. Dragon Quest Heroes sticks to the series' hack-and-slash gameplay, which means that it benefits from a battle system that has taken 15 prolific years to mature. It's come a long way from the outdated and stiff controls of Dynasty Warriors 2. From deft mid-air attacks to deadly 4-hit combos, every hero's repertoire is more than adequate. You might wish for the depth and exactness of, say, Devil May Cry, but when time is of the essence and a single sword swing can take out half a dozen skeletons, you don't need precision. You certainly don't need it when your blade can summon a screen-clearing tornado. What truly sets Dragon Quest Heroes apart from other Warriors games is a monster minion feature. A given kill has the potential to drop a metal version of that respective monster. With the metal, you can summon that monster as an ally. Aside from the palpable drama of turning the tide, these minions create two games within the game. The first is knowing how to best take advantage of a given monster's strength. Given they don't follow you throughout the battlefield, summoning a monster the moment you get its metal isn't necessarily the best move. Sometimes it's better to save them in anticipation of harder enemies at the latter half of a mission. The second game involves the strategic placement of monsters along a crowded path of enemies. This creates countless opportunities for, you guessed it, tower defense gameplay. It's satisfying to have a squad of self-sufficient teammates, human or otherwise, who can limit the flow of gargoyles, goodie bags, and hackasauruses while you're off focusing on enemy portals. As you're multitasking in battle, you'd be surprised how gratifying it is to check on your monsters later on to find that they have everything under control against equally large foes. And even if you have more pressing matters to attend to, no one would blame you for briefly jumping into this orgy of destruction. It's sheer bedlam when you can get these larger creatures to fill up your screen. Dragon Quest Heroes, The World Trees Woe, and The Blight Below affords every lover of the franchise the rare opportunity to cause genocidal destruction with the kind of efficiency you cannot find in a turn-based RPG. These tens of thousands of encounters, plus the appearances by the series' many other heroes, makes for an essential experience for any Dragon Quest fan, even if you haven't played a hack-and-slasher in ages.
You brought this on yourselves!